Years ago, Frederick Douglass had given a speech, and he was really rallying the people in Washington, D.C. To make a difference. And there were a lot of young people there. And one of them, after the speech was over, Frederick Douglass, he was tired and he was just ready to get back home. And that one child came up to him. He said, Mr. Douglass, what can I do? How can I get involved? How can I make a difference? And Frederick Douglass gave him 3 words: agitate, agitate, agitate. And when I joined my big sis's organization, I was pretty skeptical about joining any organization, but I knew that she knew what the real mission was. And she said, Lawrence, your name is going to be the community agitator. And that's exactly what I do. I come from a background, my mom was 16 when she had me. We had never had anything the easy way. Everything was about working hard. 9th grade, I was recruited by the Democratic Party to work for Obama. They flew me out to D.C. We led the groundwork to get him elected, working with Organizing America. And they told me, sir, I don't care what you believe, but you can never be a conservative because you are black. Even though I agreed with the ideology, you could never be a conservative. Well, we never had anything easy. I had my first job when I was 15. I was working at a leasing agency, and my godmother was white. And I said, look, you're different. Well, she said, I'm a Republican. You see things just like me. It was that moment that I opened myself to what the Republicans and the conservative movement was doing. And I figured out that I was lied to. Oh, I was pissed. I was mad as hell. Y'all don't understand. When I worked for the Democrats, I did Oppo research. I'm a private investigator by trade. And I dug up dirt. I went after conservatives because I thought they were on the other side. But when I got mad at liberals, they had something coming. I spent 2 years traveling across the country, partnering with organizations like Freedom Works, trying to get the conservative message out there. And I was speaking from my investigative skills that we have to expose the left for what they really are. We know what they're about. It's about power, money, and greed, and whatever they need to do to deceive you to believe that Republicans and conservatives are against you, they will do it. And I'm speaking this speech to them, and the crowd is like, what is he talking about? And this man comes up to me and he says, I need to really introduce you to somebody. And he introduced me to James O'Keefe. I spent the next year undercover in the Democratic Party in Battleground, Texas. And because of that, we shut down the whole Navigator program in the state of Texas. You can have Obamacare, but you can't sign up in Texas. And so back to my mission, and been on cable news, and that's all fun and dandy. Giving speeches is all fine and dandy. But if we cannot attract a different generation of leaders, if we cannot go to all communities across America, then we have done nothing. And so what I do, I don't come with my suit and my tie on to those communities. I come with my Jordans, my Nikes. I come with sweats sometimes on, my cowboy boots and my hat. And I agitate the community because what is the problem today? And we see this in Ferguson. People are angry, but they're mad at the wrong people. And so it's time for a new generation of leaders that aren't afraid to go into different type of communities. You know, I didn't accept the RNC job because, like I told them, y'all trying to have a one-night stand with black voters, and game recognized game. You will never get them to vote for you if you just come during election time. And so I go into these communities and I agitate them. You see what your congressman is doing? Yeah, he's black too. Do you realize he's voting against your community? What? I got it on tape. You want to see it? Do you see that when they sign you up for Obamacare, they are storing your personal information, then selling it out for political purposes? What we have to realize is that we have a group of people that once they get sick and tired of being sick and tired, they will change the way they vote. Once they get tired of being on food stamps, on housing, when they get tired of the government taking their money, when they get tired of staying in failing schools, they will change the way they vote. It was when I realized that my parents worked for every single thing that we had, and that my 16-year-old mother married my father, and they built the family together, and nobody was going to rob me from that I changed the way I believe. We got to get it, conservatives, because we're hooraying about this conservative victory that just taken place. But like I said on the Blaze the other day, we didn't do anything. We did absolutely nothing. Candidates went around the country campaigning against Obama. We didn't really present our proposal. That's what we have to do, conservatives. The battle is not over yet. We have to go into these communities, agitate, let them know who's really against them. And once we expose the Democratic Party, the liberals and progressives for the frauds they are, it's game over. Time to change the game.